what's a Jimmy Wiggler? What's your secret to changing a reversing valve? Well, I have one little trick I use, but there's no real secret. And where to buy the Smart Snake? Oh, yeah, the Smart Snake's pretty cool, but I cut them and use them by hand. The Smart Snake, just get online and buy it from wherever. You start typing it in, it starts coming up. Let's see if we can show him a Jimmy Wiggler.
Oh, good grief. Hey, put your pants back on, man.
Well, he wants to see a Jimmy Wiggler. I'm gonna show this dude a Jimmy Wiggler.
For those of you listening to this as a podcast, Ted's actually buck naked right now, and he's pointing at something. It's too pixelated to see. No, what do you got? You got a double stick on?
Jimmy Wiggler. So the Jimmy Wiggler I use to temporarily provide power to a blower motor for a continuous fan while waiting for the board in case I don't have the board for a furnace. I'll stick that, like I'll go to where the transformer is.
Optimus Prime.
Pull it off and plug that on the transformer and plug the transformer there and the high speed to the blower there and stick the door switch back in, the door back on, whatever, and you got full time. So that's what a Jimmy Wiggler is.
I thought a Jimmy Wiggler was anything you want it to be.
Like a vague term?
I didn't see where he asked Joe anything.
Oh, let me check.
No.
Nope, nothing about
this. I thought a Jimmy Wiggler was
zip it over there. And the only secret I have to changing a reversing valve is something you never think of. But instead of unsweating it, just take a big pair of something, one of those. What are those tools that they're shaped like that and they cut?
Xylophone.
Yeah, xylophone, and cut the valve. Cut it right up near the valve, and then all you got to do is unsweat the little pieces out of it with the valve out of your way, and it's a lot easier that way.
I agree with that.
Adam says cut the valve out. Now, obviously, you can't cut the new one in.
I bought a
that's what Zoom locks are for.
Uniwell makes a fork with 3 flames with a flexible copper.
Yeah, I bought every one of those, the circle one, the everything, and I just can't make it happen. But I make a shield to put behind it out of sheet metal if it's on a train anyway, because you're right up against the
You know it will be.
fine fin coil. Just because it's a failure doesn't mean it's a train, Zach. Actually, it's pretty likely.
That's supposed to be tricky.
So, well, you said it will be.
I got to verify through your language if you were saying train is good or bad. You said train was fine.
It's the best money can buy. I never said that I was perfectly satisfied with it. I complain about their things of theirs all the time.
It's the best all your money can buy. That's what that means.
No, it's just the best money can buy for, in my opinion, but. You said
maximum comfort,
videos, but you mentioned bolt cutters, and that's too big to fit in the tubes. Well, I'll tell you this: don't take a Sawzall to it and get metal shavings all down in the pipes.
Lesson learned on that.
There's some
angle grinder. No,
it looks like a angle grinder. It looks like a bolt cutter, but it's got those circular shaped jaws that surpass each other.
Oh yeah, like for the big thick wires.
Right, I think it is an electrician's tool.
Mm-hmm. So what are you talking about?
Bigger
like
wires.
Like cable cutters
or something. Yeah,
like the curved jaw cable cutters for like the big. Yeah,
cable cutters. There it is. That's what it is. And I got a couple of them. I just don't know what they are. And I'll cut that brass. I'll cut the part of the. I guess it's copper, but I'll cut it cross cuts, whatever. But as far as putting them in, I mean, you can use, I like wet rag, but in the old days when I changed a lot more of them than I do now, because I'll just change the whole unit and charge train or charge them or something. But I would take an actual wet rag and wrap it around through, well, we get 3 no questions asked a year. And it's not that many. Like I've never put a compressor in and an inverter. I just changed the whole unit. We get 3 a year. No questions asked. Now they've changed it from no questions asked to do the right thing, and we can replace any unit as long as it's within warranty and we don't have to fix it. 3 a year.
Goodman should do that. That'd be good.
If you're, yeah, good.
50 a year.
Nobody
no
would
more.
do it unless they really needed to. But how you charge for a train for a whole new unit? I'm interested. Well, like I said,
this must be that line of questioning.
Sends them an invoice.
yeah.
I send them an invoice too, and I never hear back.
Dear train.
Dear train, I am Joe Shearer. I know
Yes.
you've never heard of
Trash
me.
can. Shredder.
But here is your invoice due tomorrow, please.
Comfort Care Benefit. I don't know what that is, but we are TCS dealer, Train Comfort Specialist dealers. And there's different levels, and you get so many of this, so many of that. And the do what's right or do the right thing or no questions asked, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call it this year. They change it every year, but we get 3 a year. And I certainly reserve them for 20 SEER machines, but one time I changed a reversing valve, and there's a video of it. So if you really want to find it, go dig back, and you'll see where in the yard I had the entire train package unit completely apart, everywhere in the backyard
And that's not even a unit he was working on.
of a single wide trailer. And then I found out I was at the neighbor's house. No, but I had the whole thing apart and had the condenser coil off, had the lid propped up with PVC. I
Then he
guess
figured
in
out it was a
hindsight,
straight cool.
Probably should have just pulled the compressor out and reached in there, but you just can't get some torches to work with no oxygen, and you get up in this housing and try to weld, and it just doesn't work well.
Got to pipe oxygen in there with a separate tube. Just fill that whole area with
Or
oxygen.
you just throw away the B-tank torch that I use and get an actual real torch with oxyacetylene. And
Is that what you call your map gas? A B tank?
I don't use MAP gas.
I thought you said map gas was the way to go.
I mean, I'll use it like on a gas line or if I'm just putting a 3/8 filter dryer or something. But,
Oh, man.
up in the attic changing that. But I don't use MAP gas to change out a unit or anything.
Map gas is only 10 degrees warmer than Zoom lock.
Yeah, MAP gas is really not MAP gas any longer. You notice now it's MAP. Now, back in the 90s, it was MAPP, and it actually had acetylene in it. I've got a few of the cans of the real stuff, and it would get a lot hotter. Eddie says he wants to more about duckboard. No, you don't. You just want everybody to fight and argue.
That's a false statement right there.
Eddie's
This is
a good
reality
dude,
television.
man. He's a good guy. He's the type that will ask an intelligent question. He's just joking around right there, but he'll ask an intelligent question and make an intelligent comment. But since me and Joe clowned around so much over the duckboard stuff, maybe he's just for that benefit.
No, he probably wants to genuinely hear about how it's the superior product to build duck plenums out. It's easier
Okay,
to
well,
work.
now you got
It
me.
lasts
Now
long.
It's too late for this stuff, guys. I can
I'd
see you
like
right
to
now.
hear how
I
it's
like to
a superior
I like to talk
product.
for 22 minutes.
Superior product. Best money can buy, Ted.
All right. Well,
All
don't
right,
start
you
off with
got
a huge lie.
22 minutes. He just said you got 22 minutes. Let's hear
After
it.
22 minutes, the stream will have been off. You guys will be talking to just each other on a video phone call,
No thanks.
which I think you did this last week already, unless you got some kind of scientific proof in between
He
last
wasn't
week and this
dumb
week.
enough to say that it was a superior product last time.
Superior product. It all starts down in the jungle in South America where they get the finest fiberglass tree ever. And that's where they harvest the
America.
fiberglass
A tree?
for,
A
yes,
tree?
the fiberglass tree.
I don't like that. That's not environmentally friendly.
Are you sure that's not like a marijuana plant or something you're playing with?
Absolutely not, Ted. Which they get the finest fiberglass tree, and then they take it and they press it.
Oh, it's those coconuts where the strings are around the coconut and they fall on your head?
No, Ted. No, this is a fiberglass tree. It grows little pieces.
That's ridiculous, Ted. We're talking
Come
about
on.
a fiberglass tree. Okay, what you said was ridiculous. Now, Joe, back to the fiberglass tree, please.
Thank you, Zach.